I can never remember hearing any prisoners complaining they didn't have the vote, and nobody I've spoken to has ever said this is something that needs correcting. Is it really a worthwhile issue?
I don't think I've ever heard a prisoner asking for the right to vote either, and I've only been visiting prisons for nearly 25 years, so it's not top of the list, I will admit that. I think what prisoners mostly want is better contact with their families, quality contact with their families. They want to have quality time with their children and with their partners, and that's usually what people complain about most. And then there are other things like the quality of food and time out of cell and being treated properly with respect, not being afraid, not being beaten up by other prisoners. So there are all sorts of issues that prisoners raise first. However, I think the right to vote is symbolic as much as anything. I don't know how many prisoners in the end would actually exercise it, because of course currently people who are on remand in prison can vote. They do have the right to vote, and actually very few of them do exercise it. It's the principles that matter, that guide attitudes by the authorities. I don't really care how many prisoners vote that much. I'd like to see everybody voting. I think it's a very important civic responsibility. I take it very seriously myself. However, I think the most important thing about the vote is the way that the authorities would then treat prisoners. Prisoners have to be seen as citizens with rights, and they are just held somewhere else because of public safety reasons, but they are still citizens.
I entirely agree. I think it's utterly irrelevant. I've represented hundreds, if not thousands, of people who've gone to prison in my 20 years at the bar, and nobody's ever said to me, "Mr. Buckland, I'd like my right to vote, please, when I go to prison."